50 has just released shocking new footage that has the entire internet buzzing, and it reveals a side of Diddy that no one expected to see. In the clip, Diddy appears tense, shaken, and far from the calm and comfortable image people online had been claiming. For weeks, stories were circulating that he was relaxed behind bars, sipping wine, offering business advice, and acting as if prison were just another luxury stop. However, this footage quickly turns that narrative upside down. Now, the conversation is shifting, with many saying the energy surrounding him feels far darker than anyone initially believed. New reports are spreading, suggesting that Diddy may actually be in serious danger, and the reason behind it has caught many people off guard. There was also a documentary that made certain claims, which we now know were not true. Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there. With all due respect, I appreciate you as a journalist for asking. Thank you. Because listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody? But no, you're doing it like a journalist. Yeah. No, I mean we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense. Which, by the way, we never believed. Yeah, thank you. Word on the street is that certain individuals connected to Tupac are not feeling forgiving at all, and that has people questioning what is really happening behind those walls. This is no longer about comfort, it's about survival. And the mood has clearly shifted. For decades, the deaths of Tupac Shakur and the Notorious B.I.G. have loomed over hip-hop like a heavy shadow. Two legends gone too soon, and the pain has never truly faded. Diddy has always denied having anything to do with either loss, standing firm every time his name surfaced in the conversation. Still, the rumors never completely disappeared. Tupac was shot in Las Vegas on September 7, 1996, and after fighting for 6 days, he passed away at just 25 years old. Then, only 6 months later, Biggie was killed in Los Angeles in a strikingly similar manner on March 9, 1997, but the culture was shaken back to back, right in the middle of the explosive East Coast versus West Coast feud. It wasn't just about music anymore. It was about pride, loyalty, and deep-rooted tension. As Biggie's close ally and label boss, the Netflix docuseries Sean Combs' The Reckoning, which premiered on December 2nd, poured gasoline on conversations that never truly went away. The series didn't just revisit old questions, it pulled them forcefully back into the spotlight. Multiple voices in the documentary openly suggested that Diddy may have played a role in events people have been side-eyeing for decades, and that alone kept viewers glued to their screens. Bad Boy co-founder Kirk Burrows stepped forward with a chilling breakdown of how everything shifted. He explained that early on, Diddy and Tupac Shakur moved in the same music circles, running with similar crews and connections. But everything changed on November 30th, 1994. That night, Tupac walked into Quad Studios in New York to record a guest verse for Diddy's artist, Lil Sean. Instead, he was ambushed, robbed, and shot 5 times in the lobby. He survived, but mentally, nothing was ever the same. From that moment on, Tupac's trust in Diddy and Biggie was completely shattered. In a 1996 interview with Vibe magazine, Tupac was asked directly whether he believed Diddy was involved, and the tension in that moment said everything. The Quad Studio shooting was never solved, but Gene Deal later claimed that Diddy already knew Tupac would be shot and allowed it to happen. He also stated that a 50 Cent documentary mentioned the incident, but skipped over one critical detail that could change how people view the entire situation. According to Gene Deal, that same day was not random at all. He claims that Diddy, Andre Harrell, and Jimmy Henchman were all together inside Jimmy's office. What makes this especially shocking is Gene's claim that the Notorious B.I.G. and Suge Knight had no idea this meeting was even taking place. Gene insists Diddy wasn't there by chance, not even close. He says Diddy was closely watching Biggie because he controlled Biggie's publishing at the time. Biggie was writing new material, moving sharply, and Gene believes Diddy wanted eyes on everything. That, according to Gene, is why Diddy was in the building, to monitor Biggie, not to collaborate with him. While they were together, Gene claims Jimmy Henchman told Diddy that Tupac Shakur was going to be taught a lesson over money Tupac allegedly owed. Gene says this lines up perfectly with what Kirk Burrows has also claimed, that Diddy played a role behind the scenes. And if money was involved, Gene believes Kirk would know exactly where it came from. Most of the people connected to that moment are gone now, but Gene makes one thing clear: money doesn't disappear. Paper trails don't die. He believes the truth is still sitting in records, checks, and transactions that can be traced. Nearly 2 years later came the Las Vegas shooting that took Tupac's life, another case left unsolved. For decades, it fueled non-stop rumors and theories throughout hip-hop culture. They weren't going out to any party. Then September 2023 arrived, and the entire narrative cracked wide open. Duane Keefe D. Davis was arrested and officially charged with murder, a move that stunned the culture. Prosecutors didn't hold back, stating that Davis played a major role in what happened that night in Las Vegas. After decades of silence, the case suddenly had a pulse again. Things escalated even further in July 2024, when a court filing revealed something no one saw coming. Buried within the filing was a previously undisclosed 2009 police interview, and it immediately raised serious eyebrows. In that interview, Davis allegedly described his own role in Tupac Shakur's murder and repeatedly mentioned Diddy by name, claiming that Diddy was the one who ordered the shooting. That single detail sent shockwaves everywhere. According to Davis, Diddy was furious over Tupac's non-stop insults and public pressure. A DEA and U.S. Department of Justice report also referenced a 2008 interview in which Davis claimed Diddy said he needed to get rid of Suge Knight and Tupac, allegedly offering $1 million to make the problem disappear. What made the situation even more intense is that Davis told the exact same story again more than a decade later, without changing any of the key details. Very few people know that immediately after Tupac was shot and the white Cadillac sped off, the chaos didn't stop. One member of the death row entourage, Althea McDonald, also known as Buntry, allegedly chased the Cadillac, leading to a second exchange of gunfire between the vehicles. His car was struck, and Las Vegas police files reportedly include documentation confirming that a bullet hit his vehicle that same night. Throughout all of this, Diddy has denied every allegation, standing firm as these explosive claims continue to resurface. By July 2024, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department issued a clear public statement that challenged some narratives while reinforcing others. They stated that Sean Combs has never been considered a suspect in the Tupac Shakur homicide investigation. Diddy has never been charged, never arrested, and officially remains untouched by the case. Meanwhile, Duane Keefe D. Davis has pleaded not guilty and remains in custody as his trial continues to face repeated delays. After Tupac's death, the tension didn't cool down, it intensified. According to people close to the situation, Diddy and his East Coast circle were directly warned not to travel to the West Coast. The streets were hot, emotions were high, and the danger was real. Despite this, Diddy decided to move forward to promote the Notorious B.I.G's upcoming album, even with the risk in the air. This is something Gene Deal has also publicly backed up. Gene revealed that Clark Kent, who was close to Biggie, later admitted he questioned why Biggie was even outside that night. Biggie was supposed to be traveling, not partying. When Clark asked why they were headed to the Peterson Museum, Biggie told him it was set up by Puffy and someone else, something Gene says he only learned years later. What continues to bother Gene the most is the issue of security. He says he pushed hard and asked for more protection but was shut down. Puffy allegedly told him there wasn't enough money. Later in the docuseries, former LAPD Detective Greg Kading shared his beliefs about how the events unfolded, while witnesses described Biggie's shooter as a black man wearing a blue tuxedo with a bow tie. No one has ever been arrested, no one has been charged, and decades later, both murders officially remain unsolved, with Diddy still free of any charges. That may be about to change. More connections are beginning to surface, causing people to view Diddy's alleged involvement in Tupac's murder very differently. The dots that were once ignored are now lining up quickly, and the pressure surrounding this story continues to grow heavier by the day. According to Kirk Burrow, the tension was already thick long before Tupac Shakur ever stepped foot inside Quad Studios. Trust was shaky, egos were loud, and the industry was filled with silent rivalries that didn't need words. When Tupac was robbed and shot inside that building, Burrow says the fallout was immediate and brutal. From that moment on, nothing between the camps ever felt the same. Burrow says Tupac later warned him that things were no longer about music at all. The message was cold and direct. Tupac believed it had turned into war with Puffy and the Notorious B.I.G, and there was no confusion in his tone, no room for misinterpretation. In Tupac's mind, Quad Studios was the breaking point that flipped the entire situation. From Burrow's perspective, that moment marked the true beginning of the feud spiraling completely out of control, long before the violence that would later shock the world unfolded. On the other side of the story, Chopper remains firmly convinced that Sean Combs was almost certainly behind Tupac Shakur's death. He says the energy wasn't rivalry, wasn't competition, and definitely wasn't industry drama. According to Chopper, it was personal, deep-rooted hatred. He admits it took time before he truly understood how far that resentment went. Now things are becoming even messier. 50 Cent is allegedly leaking footage and information directly to outlets like TMZ and other major news platforms. And if Gene Deal is telling the truth, retaliation could be coming fast and hard, because pressure like this doesn't just fade quietly. With all of these stories colliding, public attention is locked in tighter than ever. If you're rocking with this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to stay locked in, and share it with anyone who's been following this saga, because this story is far from